she disappear? Or did I imagine her?
I think you imagined it.
Oh, okay.
Well, people still might join us. That's all quite
Well,
possible.
why don't we go around and introduce them real quick?
All righty. Well, I'm going to start on the top left. Dolores.
Yes, Dolores Lowe, Concord United Methodist Church, and representing Concord, I guess. And what have we been doing? Just staying inside and sheltering in place as much as possible with their masks on.
Talking to our computers.
Right, yes.
Joan.
Oh, Joan Liston from St. Perpetua.
And our guest, Mary.
Mary Fenelon from Mount Diablo.
Oh, Mary,
Sure good to see you
you're a
again,
sight
Mary.
for sore eyes.
Doug.
Mary's not a guest. She just
I
hasn't
agree. She's not a
been
guest.
for a while. Yeah, I'm Doug Leach from Danville Congregational Church, and probably most of you know that I'm now chair of the steering committee for Multi-Faith Action Coalition. But I still plan to keep coming to the task force meetings as much as I can.
Congratulations, Doug.
Thank
Good
you.
choice.
Indeed.
Jan.
Jan Warren, Lafayette Christian Church.
Julie.
Julie Clemens, Shelter Inc.
Claire.
Claire Fuchs-Schubert with Home Match.
Sophia.
Sophia DeWitt with East Bay Housing Organizations.
Ronnie.
Ronnie Boyd, also with East Bay Housing Organizations.
All righty. Mark.
Mark McMahon with St. John Vianney Church in Walnut Creek.
Carrie.
Carrie Bierink with Hope Solutions, and my faith community is the Episcopal Church of the Resurrection in Pleasant Hill.
And Leslie.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good, good. I'm on the phone this time. So Leslie Gleason with Trinity Center. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. And my name
Welcome,
is
welcome.
Now I'm the pastoral associate here at St. Perpetuous. And we have somebody join us right now. Okay, so it says joining. All right. While he is joining, did anybody
letting
bring a
someone in?
reflection or prayer? Okay, well, I use one that we can unfortunately still need. So
Uh-oh.
hopefully that'll go away sooner than not. Almighty and merciful God, who shows your love to all creation, we come before you asking for quick control of the coronavirus, still ravaging our world. Hear graciously the prayers we make for those affected by the virus in various parts of the world. Grant healing to the sick, eternal life to the dead, and consolation to the bereaved families. We pray that an effective medicine to combat this sickness be speedily found. We pray for the relevant governments and health authorities that they take appropriate steps for the good of all people. Look upon us in your mercy and forgiveness, and forgive us our failings. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, so we have two more people joining us. So William, you may want to introduce yourself, and then after William, Fran.
Hello, everyone. My name is William Goodwin. I am a member of the Resident Empowerment Program with Hope Solutions, formerly Contra Costa Interfaith Housing. And this is my first time attending, so I'm real interested, and hopefully I can learn something. Thank you.
Welcome.
I'm going to try to adjust my lights too, so if you see me disappear, that's what what's
Okay, good.
Good to see you.
And
Thank
Fran.
you.
Fran, do you want to introduce yourself?
Oh, I'm
I'm sorry, I'm Fran Walsh, and I'm with Walnut Creek United Methodist Church in the Extended Family Program, where we furnish homes for people who have been in permanent housing from homelessness.
Welcome, welcome
Thank you.
everybody. All right, so as I said in the beginning, I think because of Zoom, if you're not speaking, it'd be best to remain on mute. And then once you have something to say and want to participate, then just click unmute, please. So I think, do we have to anything? Well, it's not on the agenda, but we usually approve the minutes from last time. So
Yeah, it's up there. It's just
Yeah.
in a different spot.
hidden somewhere probably, right? Okay.
Right, I hit it from you.
But anybody want any changes, additions made to the minutes, or are we all good with them? Thank you to Joan for.
Well, the
texting in faithfully.
clarification, there was one clarification we wanted from Elizabeth. I wondered if she put anything in your email, Jan, or has she responded at all? This was from the September. Let me see if I can find the page. It was, let's see.
I haven't heard from her yet. Why don't we wait and see if she pops in later?
Okay, I'll hold off making a final copy of our September minutes.
Okay,
Thanks.
okay.
Okay, sounds good. All righty, then let's go. Oh, no, we can't.
Yeah, skip.
Not
skip
here.
Elizabeth.
And we'll start with Shelter Inc.
Hi, everyone. Am I unmuted now?
Yes, you are.
Thank you. So we had our first virtual fundraising event on October 1st, and we raised $130,000 that evening, and another 10 plus has come in since then. Thank you, Leslie. So we think we'll hit our 150 goal with the matching gifts that come in, that type of thing. We've also just got word today that the CARES Act money coming from the city of Concord is being sent to us on Friday, which means we'll be able to reopen our COVID hotline. We're getting approximately $3.5 million from 4 cities in the county of Contra Costa in rental assistance for people impacted by COVID. And so we've just been waiting for actual contracts and to know when money is ready to be released so that we can reopen that. We are going to an online application process. So we've updated our flyers. I will send them after the meeting with my report so that it can become easily integrated into the minutes. And the flyer is in both English and Spanish. But we are encouraging people to do the online intake form. So we're sure that by November, we'll have enough money to start actual awarding cash to families who need it for their housing.
Julie, have you got any update? I know a number of months ago, y'all started working in, was it Solano County, Sacramento, someplace north of here.
Yeah.
Is there any update on what you're doing up other than, the Contra Costa?
Yeah, we are in Solano. We started in Solano in February of 2019, and we moved, we were awarded a shelter in Sacramento that we took over in January of 2020. So amazingly, I can't believe we're coming up to a year in Sacramento. With the shelter in place, of course, we haven't been able to enroll new people into congregant living. So the shelter in Sacramento was full and has remained so, although there's some numbers that come and go as people there have had COVID. And when they have COVID, they're exited to an appropriate facility to provide them with the care that they need and to protect the rest of our residents. We're operating 2 of the project room keys for Governor Newsom. They were originally supposed to end in July. Those were extended till December. So through December, that's what we know right now. We'll see if more funding comes our way or not after that. So we've got one in Contra Costa and one Solano, and both of those are full at maximum capacity too. I think one is like 65 rooms and one is 50 rooms. So we have couples and singles in those, no children in those right now. Actually, we had a family and one family in Solano. I'm not sure if they're still there or not. So in Sacramento, we got a little bit of rental assistance money on top of the shelter, like $25,000 to help shelter residents get out into housing. And, you know, in the first few weeks, we were able to rehouse 3 of our clients there immediately. People who'd been there long-term that really needed to be in more board and care senior type of facilities. The Sacramento River District Shelter is a more, they're just a more challenging community to serve. They have higher needs and a lot more mental health association that's needed for them. Solano also has not been able to enroll new people. We are still in that kind of lockdown mode with the county health officials. So the sites are locked up, you know, after hours, and people have to have permission to gain access. I think we just moved one family into the family shelter in Contra Costa because the health department located a family and asked us to. So it's, you know, dependent, I think, really on what the need is at the time, and the safety level, our color code system at the time. So we're hoping that, well, of course, all of our volunteer services have ended. So right now we can't use volunteers for anything. And that's, I think, it's really hurting, you know, morale for a lot of people, and feeling that isolation, both those who serve as well as our participants. And of course, we're launching our year-end activities that we always do: Thanksgiving food drive and an Adopt a Family program, where they've been heavily volunteer involved. They've been, you know, staffed by volunteers who show up and help stuff boxes and stuff. So we're having to do things differently this year. We're creating a new, we're working with a new software this year to do more of a centralized hub on our website where people can adopt a family virtually. They see what the needs are, they sign up for it, and it takes them off of the list then because they're already adopted. We'll have appointments for people to drop things off, both for the Thanksgiving food drive as well as the Adopt a Family holiday season drive. So we're still trying to serve our participants as generously as the community has in the past, but in a safer method of delivery for everyone. We will not have a big day of filling food boxes at Thanksgiving time. We're asking people to actually fill up the whole box themselves. We're limiting the items that go in the box so that it's very specific to like a Thanksgiving meal, and it needs to be contained in that box, and you bring back stuffed boxes already. And that way we're limiting people's contact with each other.
Great, all good information. I appreciate you sharing about the other counties, because I know we've often, particularly with Solano County, you know, worked together, all the
Yep,
groups, you know,
that's
whoever's
right.
got the opening, that's
right.
where we go.
Yep.
Have you gotten additional funding from CARES or anything from those other counties? Or
We got a little bit of extra CARES Act in Solano, but
Okay.
not in Sacramento. There are other
Okay.
service providers in Sacramento that were awarded CARES Act money.
Okay.
We got I think it's about 400,000 in Solano.
And do you know when you'll have the website up and ready for people to sign up for Thanksgiving and Christmas?
I
type
hope by
stuff?
the end of the week. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Mhm.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Hope Solution and Carrie, you're next.
Hey, everybody. It's great to see you today. I have 5 things for you today. First of all, the annual report will be delivered to your inboxes this week. Your actual snail mail boxes, so be on the lookout for that. If you'd love a sneak peek, I've actually just put it up on our website, hopesolutions.org, under the publications section. It's listed there. We're very excited about that. This is the time of year for our Spirit of Giving holiday giving program. We need our community support in this season with providing holiday gifts from our families and individuals that receive our services. So we're in the process of matching residents with donors right now. And if you or your faith community are interested in doing that, I encourage you to talk with your group about it, see how many families you want to host or purchase gifts for, and you will need to reach out to Mariel McMendez. You can always email me, but Mariel is managing this program this year, and we're excited to kick that off. So definitely get in touch if you want to participate in that. Thirdly, our Ruby Slippers annual fundraiser is going virtual. Our website is now live. If you haven't had a chance to visit our website lately, when you go over there, definitely click on that link. Our tickets are complimentary this year, and you just have to register that you're going to attend. And we're also in the process of sharing the opportunity to sponsor the event and donate items to the event for auction pieces. Number 4, I'm almost done here. And then it's just a general announcement, but I just wanted to bring everyone's attention. As part of our Hope Solutions strategic plan, our first goal is to triple our delivery of housing services and support services for our vulnerable community that we serve. And just always be on the lookout for any real estate that might help us out in our goal of building or buying 50 units. Just wanted to keep that top of mind. And what that really looks like is we want to go from serving 375 households to 750 households by the end of 2024. So I just urge you in keeping an eye out and letting us know if there's opportunities that come that we should be checking out. And lastly, I'm so thrilled that William Goodwin is here. He's one of our resident empowerment program leaders. One of the things that we've been working on at Hope Solutions is letting our entire community know what propositions that are on the ballot this year that would support affordable housing efforts in our region. So if I may, I'm going to toss the torch. Before I do so, I'll ask questions if there's anything on anything else, but I just wanted to welcome William and see if he has anything he'd like to share in that regard. Any questions on any of the other items? Great. You always can reach out.
Thank you, Carrie. It's funny, I was looking at the agenda and I saw that I requested to be on the agenda. So, you know, I'm here and I'm on the agenda, so thank you. As Carrie was saying that the Resident Empowerment Program, we have tried to always advocate for affordable housing. And so we spend our time in committee meetings and different organizations and being educated on the election cycle to learn what bills, measures, propositions are happening in that election cycle. And then we determine which ones we can support for affordable housing, housing justice, and supportive services. And this election cycle, we've chosen 4 propositions: Proposition 15, 16, 17, and 21, as well as Measure X. And we are currently available to give presentations on those 4 propositions and that measure. We also or developing a flyer, which on one side summarizes our position on those 4 propositions and that one measure. But on the flip side, it provides voter service information and resources, especially for first-time voters and interested parties. And so we'd be happy to distribute that to anyone who needs it. We're going to be passing those out in our community, but we'd be happy to coordinate the distribution of that through Carrie to the Multi-Faith Action Committee if you'd like, and anyone who'd be interested in having those flyers. Like I said, on one side, it shows those 4 propositions and a measure and a summary. And on the flip side, information like Voter's Edge, the last day to register, the vote, and when you should mail in your ballot, and just helpful information for voters in general. So that's it. That's what I have, and I'm just pleased to be here finally and get to see everyone that's involved. I always thought this was, a really powerful committee, and so I'm here.
Thanks, William.
Thank you.
Yeah, great to have
Is
you.
the flyer ready yet or not?
It was supposed to be ready today. I will check on that. I know by the Wednesday, it should definitely be prepared.
Okay.
William, you
and
want
ready.
to share your email, put it in the chat or something for folks?
I will.
So
Well,
they can contact you if
Carrie-
they want any of those.
I can also
Kevin,
get
you
it out.
can forward it to us, and then we can forward it on to the district. If you get it to Jan can forward it to the
Okay.
entire distribution list. And I
Okay.
would imagine, Doug can take it further upstairs to the steering committee and share it that way as well. I know
Okay.
the MFAC has had issued an email not too long ago where they took positions on a few of the propositions. So I don't know if it's the same or if they overlap. I don't have that email in front of me right now. But anything that we can do to educate our people on, why we're supporting, what we're supporting, I think is really important. So thank you for putting that together, William.
Thank you.
If I could just ask Carrie a question. What type of real estate are you looking for? In terms of size or?
In terms of size, really, that's a fine question. We're ultimately looking to blend the use of purchasing, building, and master leasing to get out to our goal of tripling our services. I think we're being as creative as we can right now, so we wouldn't say no to any opportunity to look at. I can certainly get more specifics, but it's really been on a case-by-case situation at this point. Because
Okay,
we
I didn't
know
if you're
that
looking for multi, apartments or something.
we're
like
looking
that.
for, that helps me answer your question a little bit more. Garden Park Apartments, everyone knows that it's a bigger unit and serves 27 units there. That is what people are most familiar with. We also have, in addition to that, we have 3 other sites. But then beyond our 4 site-based programs, we have what we call multi-site housing. So they are, duplexes that people have allowed us to rent out. They're of various sizes from 2 to 8 units. It could be really any configuration. We know the reality is that Garden Park Apartments is very unique, and it's amazing that we have that there, but we've formulated so many different ways of housing people at this point that, and not only through our multi-site programs, but through our housing navigation programming and rapid rehousing, it's not realistic that everyone's going to be in a GPA type setting. And those are our most vulnerable clients. So those are, we have our mental health support on site and our education wing on site. And of all the population we serve, that is unique in that respect. So we're open to a lot of different configurations and opportunities.
Okay, great, thanks.
Yep.
All right, thank you. Let's see, Jamie is not here.
I've got Jamie's report.
You do, okay.
Being the good mother that she is, she's needed to focus, do some work at home where she could help her daughter at the same time. They're about to send out a big newsletter with most of the info. Just a repetition that the Homeless Awareness Month is in November. And so they'll be putting together their Homeless Awareness Month toolkit. So if you have events, forums, volunteer opportunities or needs, if you'll send those so she can put all of that in the homeless kit, that'll be great. Let's see, there is a Contra Costa Learning Hub meeting on November the 19th from 1 to 3. And you're invited to participate in that. You just have to go to the H3 website. It's going to be it'll be a panel with the consumers who've been housed and the agencies that have supported them. Sounds like something right up our alley. The other comment she has here is on the census. They completed their official count, and they got information from the majority of the shelters. And let's see here. West County, Central County. Fortunately, the census office covering West and South County was unwilling to work with CORE, the outreach team. So I know that it's been extended, and so maybe they'll find another way to work with that group before the end of October and get those other folks on board. And that's her report. If you have questions, put them in the chat, and I'll reach out to her, and we can include them in our minutes that we send out.
All right, do you have anything on the Winter Nights, Jane?
Let me see if she sent me anything. I sent her a note to ask if she was coming or going to send me a report, but I haven't heard from Judy. So
Okay.
they are going to be trying to get back to y'all. They're going to be starting up in November. I think it's the 2nd. And they're going to be spending a month in one location with lots of folks pitching in from different congregations.
Okay, so
And,
1 month versus 2 weeks. Okay.
yeah, they've extended it. And so they have a place to go. And they'll be, they have their own tents and they have their own table, and they'll be serving, we'll be basically buying meals and bringing them, and they'll be served by the staff. And so we'll have a better idea of what we're doing after we do it, I guess. But everyone seems to be gung-ho and ready to move forward. They're talking about 4 families.
Okay.
So we'll have more to report next month. They are looking at, they had said they weren't going to do a parking lot, but I think now they're looking at it again. So we'll see what happens with that. That's all I have.
All right, Ronnie, you're next.
Okay. So we just had our Faith and Justice breakfast, which was we had over 70 participants, and we raised about $500 for Black Cultural Zone. And the Women of Color honorees were met with a lot of enthusiasm. And we had time for community discussions about the role of faith communities in responding to COVID. And that ended up being very lively and full of ideas that are going to guide our work forward. Also, EPO's Faith and Justice Committee is looking for new members. Just a little background about what it is. We bring together interfaith leaders for the righteous cause of housing justice. And as we support the housing justice movement, we lead with faith consciousness. Our work is not only designed to find better ways to work together across faith, but it is also designed to serve as a moral leadership in the fight for affordable housing. So if you're a person of faith or someone who values leading from faith, we would love to connect with you. And we're also having our retreat in about a month. So you would be getting in at a good time to shape the committee. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to follow up that request from Ronnie for participation in the Faith and Justice Committee. I've been on that committee when it was called the Interfaith Communities United, and they've changed names. You remember Vanessa Riles was the previous chair of that committee, and then Sophia took over when Vanessa left, and Ronnie is now the faith coordinator for EBHO and is leading that committee, but it's renamed to Faith and Justice Committee. I used to go to that. Can't go now because I have a conflict that that I'm involved in. The Contra Costa has a budget justice coalition that the Multi-Faith Action Coalition participates in, and I go to that meeting. It's exactly at the same time. So, but I just do encourage people on this task force to consider that. It's a lot easier now than it used to be. You don't have to get on BART and go to downtown Oakland to go to the meetings. It's all on Zoom. So that committee has a lot of good people on it. They're mostly from Alameda County. So we need to have some Contra Costa County representation on that committee.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can I jump in and ask, how does one follow up? Should we email Ronnie? Should we email you directly?
Yeah, I can put my email in the chat.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was a good question.
Way to be ahead of Ronnie.
So Ronnie's contact information in the chat. Anything else, Ronnie? Joan?
I just want to thank you, Ronnie. You wrote a wonderful review of your report before the meeting, so it saved my hand for a few minutes.
Yeah, kudos to Ronnie.
Thank
Only
you.
report we got.
Oh, thumbs up.
Thumbs up, man.
But I forgive all the rest of you. I know how busy you all are. So this is not a reprimand. It's just a thank you.
That's right. Well, we do positive stuff here.
Right.
All right, Jen, you're up next.
Yeah, I'm up next, and I forgot I put myself on here. I think the only thing I would say is that the board in September extended the tenant protection. It's through January, right, Doug? Yeah, I think it's through January. And it's, of course, better than the governor because, you know, what he had is you got to be paying 25% of the current monthly rent. So anyhow, we just got to keep moving forward with all the housing stuff. And Hector, I'm going to have to call him. I've not heard anything since he came here and got us all excited, and he hadn't been back. So we'll see what we can do.
Okay.
Move on to Doug.
Then we get to Doug. Doug, you're muted.
Yeah, unmute. I think I know where Hector is. And it has to do with what I'm supposed to report on here, the Voting for Equity Forum. I'm going to share my screen since I can.
Okay.
Oh, no, I can't. For me to share my screen, I guess you have to do something because it says host disabled participants screen sharing. I don't need.
No, you can go ahead now.
Okay. Okay, so the Voting for Equity forums are coming up. If you're on the Multi-Faith Action Coalition email list, you should have received a flyer that looks like something like this, an email that promotes this Voting for Equity Forum. And it's a forum that is happening tomorrow at 5 p.m. in English. And for people who are Spanish speakers, there's an equivalent forum that happens on Wednesday, also at 5 p.m. So it's about voting, and it's about ballot measures. And William, the four propositions that you mentioned are on the agenda for this forum tomorrow. There are four others as well. Besides the ones that William mentioned, there will be talking about Measure X, which is the half-cent sales tax in Contra Costa County. And we'll also be talking about a couple of propositions where no votes are recommended. A vote of no is recommended, Prop 20 and Prop 22. And we're going to be talking about Prop 25 as well, but no specific recommendation is made by this in going to this forum. So you can, if you haven't received that email from Multi-Faith Action inviting you to these forums, that means you must not be on the Multi-Faith Action Coalition email list. And you can correct that if you want to get on the list by going to Multi-Faith Action Coalition's website and joining the email list. It's multifaithactioncoalition.org, I think. Anyway.
Doug, if you don't mind, put that in the chat, the link to the website, please.
Sure. Anyway, this little flyer, which you can't click here to register because it's on my screen, but you can go to the Multi-Faith Action Coalition website and find the information there and register. That is my report.
And I'll just chime in quickly to say that I'll be presenting on Prop 21 at the English language session on Wednesday evening, and my colleague Dolores Tejada will be presenting at the Spanish language session on Prop 21 tomorrow evening.
Great.
So I
think you got to skip up.
Doug's encouragement to come to that event.
I think the English one is tomorrow and the Spanish one is on Wednesday.
Oh, I'm sorry, I got that reversed. But yes, I will be presenting in English. Whatever that is.
Okay, well, good. Thank you. We'll move on to Wesley.
All right. Can you hear me? I think I unmuted.
Yes, we can hear you.
All righty, awesome. So community centers continuing to operate primarily outdoors, but now that we've moved into the red tier, we are seeking further guidance about how we or when we can start to, or how we can safely move more of our operations back indoors as the weather starts to change. One thing we really want to share with all of you all, and then please share it with your networks, is that Trinity Center is inviting people to join our mission as board members. We're adding new members, and we're hoping to expand both our reach and the variety of lived experience on our board. So if anyone's interested in finding out more, there's information on our website, and/or you can contact me directly. An ask that we have, if someone's not wanting to be a full-time board member, but an ask that we have of individuals, and maybe a way for faith communities to connect with us right now, even with no volunteers on site, is that we could really use some help with breakfast items. And that could be pretty broad. That could be hot breakfast, that could be basic grab and go breakfast. The source that we usually get our breakfast from, they're having supply issues right now. So that's making it something we need to think about. So if anyone or any faith congregation is interested in helping out in this way, again, just be in touch with me and I'll put you in contact with Pam McGrath. On a happier note, our new TAY coordinator, Transition Age Youth, just started. His name is John Lawrence, and he comes to us with a background of having worked in the schools with students and their parents around wellness issues. And he's really excited to start to develop our outreach and targeted services for youth age 18 to 24. As far as winter sheltering, we're making progress. We did get the conditional use permit to use the armory over the winter. However, that's not necessarily our most cost-effective option, especially because using tents, we are not going to be able to house as many people over the winter. So we've been looking for other options, and we're talking with one faith congregation right now, but that may also require additional permitting. So we continue to be open to any other options of places we can be over the winter, but we do know we have a plan B. So, where things are coming together, but slowly. One thing we're super excited about is that we ended September with having reached our $20,000 goal of contributions to the Travis Credit Union Matching Foundation's matching program. So because because we, all the donors, the individual donors contributed the maximum 20,000, the credit union is forwarding that money plus another 20,000 of their foundation money. So that is just awesome. Super happy about that. The downside of that, though, is that we don't know any of the individual people who contributed online to the credit union. So, so this is just a general thank you to anybody who may have participated in that way or spread the word. And if you do want any particular acknowledgement from Trinity Center, in addition to what you got from the Travis Credit Union Foundation, please reach out to me so we can make sure that we do that. And then finally, as Jan mentioned, it's Homeless Awareness Month coming up in November. 2 events are going to feature or involve Trinity Center. One is the Walnut Creek. Well, I don't want to steal Jan's fire on this, but there will be a Walnut Creek sponsored event on the evening of November 10th, online, of course, and also in November, but the date hasn't quite been solidified yet. There will be another educational event, which will also be the opportunity when Senator Glazer will recognize having recently named us as being a 2020 California Nonprofit of the Year. So we've got a busy couple of months coming up. Yeah, thank you. Busy couple of months coming up to maintain our basic services, continue to be there for people who need us, and invite everybody to help in the ways that they can, even though COVID is keeping us all apart. So things are going well on this end, all things considered. Any questions or anything that I didn't cover that you may want to know about?
Leslie, did I understand you correctly that if we use the armory for the shelter, that the residents will be in tents?
Yes, the current guidance that we have from the county is similar to what Winter Nights has gotten, which is that people have to be in individual tents, 12 feet away. They have to wear masks when they're out of the tents. And if we serve meals on site, they have to be served 2 people in the tents, although that's not typically a feature of how we've done the evening program over at the Armory. That may change if we're in a more local faith-based setting. So those are the things that we all think will help keep everybody safe, because of course, at the end of the day, that's the goal. Oh, and the other thing I forgot to mention, and I'm looking at you, I don't know how I forgot to mention this, is we have accumulated more money again for safe parking, including a recent donation from a sizable donation actually from Kaiser. So we're looking at how safe parking can also be part of our solution and programming for the winter. So look for that to come back online, of course, as well, hopefully still with the support of St. John Vianney. But we're just about to reach out to Debbie and all of them to start that conversation again.
Oh, good. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Leslie. Anything else for Leslie? I don't know if you have anything from Home Match.
Yeah, we just have, it's pretty short, but we just have our September numbers in. So wanted to share. So in September, Home Match made 2 matches. And in October, right now, it looks like we're lining up to make 4. So that's really exciting. And let's see, right now we are still very much looking for home providers. Because we made all these matches, which is wonderful, it did deplete our home provider supply. And recently we haven't had as many home providers signing up. I think in the month of September, we just had one home provider become active, whereas we had 12 home seekers become active. So there is a disparity in like need. We fielded over 53 INR or information and referral calls. So, you know, people are still out there looking for housing. Oh, and then also outside of CCC, Home Match recently expanded into Monterey County, the Monterey Peninsula. So our program is now operating down there. So if any of you know anyone in Monterey County, yeah, thank you, who is looking for housing or potential home sharing opportunity, I can go ahead and give you that contact information. And if you look on our website, I believe that the Monterey Home Match contact information is on there as well. So yeah, those are our big updates. I don't know if any of you have any questions or anything, but you can always email me or Gabby, and we'd be happy to talk to you about it.
Can you did you say you already put your email in the?
Oh, I'll put in the chat right now.
Yeah, we have a couple of new people. Yeah, thanks.
Clara, I'd be interested in if you could say anything about the recent placements and how people have managed that, or what have been the steps that people have taken to feel comfortable with COVID going on. I would imagine that feels like an obstacle to many people. So can you say something about how you guys are proactively handling that?
Of course, yeah, that's a great question. And you know, that was the biggest question we had to answer when we briefly closed at the beginning of quarantine is, you know, how are we going to make home sharing comfortable for people? So we've enacted 5 steps in our program. We updated our program waiver to include a section about infectious diseases that, you know, whenever we have an intake with someone, we're like, okay, we highly recommend that you now, you know, before we already encouraged you read through our program waiver, but now really take a look. We have part of our intake process is now asking people, you know, what's your COVID comfort level? How cautious are you about COVID? Are you someone who is, you know, staying in almost 100% of the time, getting groceries delivered to you, just not going out at all, even to see family? Or are you someone who is more relaxed? And then that has now become a very integral part of our matching process to see, you know, okay, are these 2 people on the same wavelength about COVID? We also now encourage our participants to do like 99% of their meetings remotely. So either over the phone or over Zoom. We do understand though that seeing the place that you're potentially going to rent is important. But then we say, you know, we're willing to provide you with masks. We're willing to provide you with gloves. If you want to go there and do a visit of the home. And then we also require or heavily emphasize that people stay 6 feet apart from each other while in the home. We added a new part to our living together agreement, which is our version of a lease that is, I think it's over 20 questions just on COVID, with the most important section being, okay, let's create a plan about what happens if one of you starts showing symptoms or if one of you tests positive. How are you going to quarantine in this home? If the bathroom is shared, what is going to happen there? Obviously, some homes, it's easier to quarantine in them than others. For example, if the person renting a room also has a private bathroom, that creates, you know, a lot more space for them to be private. But we do have that conversation. We do identify maybe key family members or key caregivers who can maybe step in and help out during those times. And then we also, I think, did I cover everything? And then we also recommend that people do get COVID tested before they move in. And we give them, you know, free COVID testing sites throughout Contra Costa County or Alameda County if we're matching them in Fremont. Yeah, so knock on wood, none of our participants have had COVID yet. So we're hoping that streak continues.
That's great. That's a lot of good thinking you put into it. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you.
Yeah, this is wonderful that this is actually happening in COVID, you know, I mean,
yeah,
it's a fantastic program, and it's a win-win. So glad to see this working.
Yeah, thank you. And then if you want to see kind of a more in-depth booklet. We put together a booklet called Moving Forward, which identifies probably much more clearly than what I just said, how Home Match is responding to COVID-19. So I can also send that out to you, Leslie, if you're interested in taking a look, or anyone who's interested. Just shoot me an email.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Thank you.
All right. Next, we're going to go to cities. And I don't know if Dolores has an update for us for Concord. You are muted, Dolores.
Okay, now you can hear me, I guess.
Yes, now we can.
All right. Well, the big news is the Coast Guard property on the Concord Naval Weapons Station is going up for auction. 59 acres on October 15th. The city and DeNova Homes was hoping to buy it, but the Coast Guard wanted more money, so they decided to auction it off. Minimum bid is $15 million. And they think that if they auction it off, it'll get developed much faster. And they still will have to go through the Concord City for entitlements and stuff like that. And some of the people that were interested said that they might rehabilitate some of the buildings rather than tear them down, which Concord was going to do, tear everything down and bring it up to code. But now they might rehabilitate some of the buildings if they happen to get it. And I got this information actually out of the paper on Friday. So I tried to call I emailed somebody from the LRA, the local reuse authority, to see what was going on, but I haven't heard back from them yet. So this is going to be auctioned off on Thursday, October 15th.
Wow.
So, and then as far as the rest of the Naval Weapons Station, they're saying that, they got rid of Lennar and they hope that they'll have a developer by next summer. And so that's all I have to say about that. And I think as far as the tenants group is going in Concord, they have their own rules, but they've extended it to January also, I believe. And that's it.
Thank you, Dolores. Any
Wow.
questions for Dolores?
So the Coast Guard property, is that north of Highway
Well,
4?
it's adjacent to the Naval Weapons Station, and I actually thought it was part of it, but apparently it's separate. It was sold, I guess, given to the Coast Guard for use. And so I think the city and DeNova were having some problems together too. And I thought that the city had already bought it, but apparently not. And now the Coast Guard decided they can get some more money, the government, by auctioning it off. So that's what they're going to do. We'll see.
Are there restrictions on what kind of development?
Well, it's housing, I think.
It's still housing?
I think probably for housing, because they said they were going to rehab some of if they win, this one group said if they win the bid, they would rehab some of the housing. So, and it was advertised for housing development, but.
Yeah, I didn't know there was any housing on there.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of that along, let's see, what is that street? I don't remember the street, but it's just right adjacent to the Naval Weapons Station and the and the
Okay.
city. There's a city, street that divides them there.
I'll have
And they
to go
would
back and
use
read
for the
Friday.
Coast Guards, used it for apartments, had apartments and a house, some housing on it too. But it
Well-
was not in under code, so,
Nice if we get some affordable housing.
yeah. And that's what they're
Particularly if
saying.
they
They
rehab
think
it.
if a developer buys it, they think it'll move much faster than it will through the Naval Weapons Station redevelopment.
Great.
Well, we shall see, you know.
Yeah, I hope
Then-
everyone, yeah, that, where will the bidding take place?
It's
Online?
online. You have to, if you want to bid on it, you have to deposit $500,000.
Oh, has anybody got five?
And then the minimum bid is going to be 15 million. So. and
Gary's
it's
looking for
happening
real
this
estate, you know.
Thursday, this coming Thursday, so we should know fairly soon if somebody buys it.
Wow, okay,
Well, there you go, Kerry.
man.
Okay, thanks, Dolores.
Mhm.
Walnut Creek,
3
Jane.
days, Gary. I wanted to share today that have a high school senior from Las Lomas who's been attending the Walnut Creek Homeless Task Force. And it's been there at least a year, and she's been spending all this time coming to the meetings and working on a website for this group. And it's up now. They'll continue to add things, but it's I'll put it in the chat here. But so she's the high school. She got the website up, and she's added 3 great stories from Trinity. And she was sharing that there's 3 other young people who are also seniors, one from Mount Diablo High, College Park, and Northgate. And these fine, creative, go-get-em young people have created a Project Icarus, a nonprofit to bring awareness, education, and research on the increased melanoma in the homeless population. I'm just blown away by these young people. They're reaching out to the dermatologist to see about getting free screening, and they're going to be working hopefully with the health people with the John Muir vans and so forth. I'm not sure they're even running right now, but if they are, they're working with that. They want to create this cancer support community. I'm just they're just amazing young people, and so very encouraged that they're going to let the community know that we need to be looking out. There's a lot of homeless spend a lot of time outside and have more opportunity to contract melanoma, and they want to make sure there's prevention and care for them. We had a court report. 34 people were served in Walnut Creek this past month. 3 of them were minors, and 2/3 of those people have a disability, and 1/2 have been homeless 6 months, and kind of oddly, the other half 5 years or more. So you're getting people with long-term and people new coming in, into the city with needs. We were able to move 11 of the folks into the hotels this past month. And I wanted to add, Jamie had added in her report that I didn't see. Of course, their shelters have been closed for the county, but they're slowly going to open the shelters that have single rooms. A lot of them are congregant, but if there's any that they have that are single rooms, and of course they're going to be moving to get that hotel in Pittsburgh, the Motel 6, to spend their money on to then convert for housing. So, the mentioned by, yes, who mentioned this? My buddy from Leslie, November the 10th, 6:30. I'm going to put the website in there. You're going to need to go to the website to get a Zoom link, but we encourage everybody to come out for the education forum. This is, I think, the third one they've done, and always well attended. Lots of good questions and connecting with the community, and so no additional report from those from Donna Colombo's group who are trying to find additional different types of housing, but good stuff. And actually, we are done with this agenda. Scott's not here. I threw in Martinez in case somebody showed up from Martinez. And I didn't hear from Karen. But if anyone, Fran or anyone else who's not on the agenda who wants some time or has additional questions, go for it.
Well, it doesn't look like it. Wow, look at that. That means we're early. So what are you going to do with the next 25 minutes that you just gained?
I'm sure they can find something to do in the next 25 minutes. Sometimes we barely get it done. Sometimes we're lucky and end early. So
thank you, Joan, for taking.
Happy Halloween to everyone.
Appreciate it.
Thank you all.
Thanks for
Thank you
attending.
all.
And if there is anything additional, if you send it off to Jan, I can add it to the minutes. Minutes can sometimes, I suppose, be considered before and after the meeting, since we seem to be extending our abilities to either prepare for the meeting, write up the meeting, or contribute to the meeting. So I appreciate anything written out. I do sometimes a little editing here and there. So if you take a look at the minutes, make sure I edited it correctly. And, you know, we'll get out the last month's as well as this month's minutes, probably by the end of the week. Thanks.
Thank you,
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank
Joan.
you, everybody. Be well.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you all.
Everybody.
Thank you,
care.
everyone.
Good to see you, Mary.
Have a good evening.
Thanks for coming, William.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you.
Come back next month.
I will. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.